Last time on the Adventures of Gaia, Pryo and Danus made their way to the bandit camp, where they finally caught up with Christophia's murderers. Danus sniped from a distance while Pryo infiltrated the bandits. After quickly disposing of the murderers and recovering Shayla, the missing woman, they made their way back to the small community they visited earlier. Shayla was reunited with her mate, and S33R told Pryo and Danus that Gaia is failing, that what is needed most right now is heroes.
You've been driving for some time in your very slow, old putt-putt speeder. Pryo announced that you were going to the Priory after that last encounter, after you left the robot and his community. And he hasn't said much since. Danus, you've been a happy companion. You're a little annoyed that your first 3 lands have been the same ones you went back through, and now you're back in the orange, hot land where both the sky, the sun, the rock, everything's various shades of orange. The speeder broke down once. Pryo got out to fix it. You stopped.
Son of a bitch! Kaslam! Ah, damn it!
You took that time, Danus, to distance yourself, stretch your legs. You looked out in your scope, shot at the odd thing, but nothing, no monsters or anything to note, just odd signals.
All right, that should do it. Let's see.
Got it fixed?
Okay, little putt-putt car is going again.
Close the door very carefully because I don't want to stop it.
Nobody breathe. +1 for that. You've been driving in the heat of the orange land, where you lost Christophia now for some time.
Oh, I was gonna probably mention something, see if you wanted to leave something on her site. Like, as a memento, a, safe travels or something.
Danus turns to you and starts talking as you've approached that spot, Pryo.
What?
I think it's right up there. You want to leave a gift or say a few words or something?
Okay, Pryo doesn't say anything.
Okay.
He drives up, close to that spot. He stops. Beep, boop. He gets out. He walks away.
Oh, he walks away?
Yeah, he walks north.
Oh.
The heat's oppressive.
Okay, I pick up my backpack where I left it when I ripped out and left.
+1. Okay.
Picked it up. He holds it both in his hands. He comes back. He goes, opens up the trunk, throws it in.
Okay, you throw the bag in the trunk, and as you throw it, you hit a bunch of the stuff that had been left in the back of the trunk. You actually see a white carved box in the back of the trunk.
Okay.
Roll memory.
Memory, huh?
Danus, you followed him. You're looking in the trunk. You thought you were going to have this beautiful moment, and he just went to get his crap.
36, I make it.
Okay, that seems very much like the box that Christophia had mentioned she lost.
Wait a minute. Okay, he grabs it.
You see the box in front of you. You're sitting in that spot. You see her magenta eyes sparkle out at you as she reaches out, and then there's nothing.
Okay, Pryo looks in the box.
You can't easily find a way to open it. You look all over, it's carved, there's no clear spots. You can see actually where there's been knife marks and hacks around the edges where the bandits were clearly trying to open it and then gave up.
What's that?
Didn't you say something about this? He hands it to Danus.
Let's see here. I did tap it, kind of flip it all. Is anything rolling around on the inside? Shake it?
Yeah, you don't hear anything. There's no clear clear way to open it. In fact, looking at it, given how ornately carved it is, you wonder if the box itself is the thing of importance, perhaps. Okay. It has a Pryor symbol on it, the same that Christophia had on her robes.
Oh, okay. So it's probably starting to click now that it's like, okay, yeah, this is definitely hers. I pull it up to my mouth and I whisper, blessings of Gaia. Does anything happen?
You feel a warmth in the box slightly.
Really?
But it doesn't open.
Okay. Oh. Pryo gives Danus a dirty look with the sunglasses. You can't quite tell how annoyed he is. But maybe you probably can.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's matched with this. Just a big smile.
This is Danus. Danus gives a big smile, and I guess.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Do you want to take this back, or should we leave it and say, you finally found it?
Pryo says, and he goes and sits back down.
Okay, I'm going to put the box in the trunk, and I'm going to go walk over to maybe say a couple words.
Okay, you close the trunk. You step over.
Starts to drive, stops, realizes he's not in the vehicle, turns around.
I'll just kind of, mosey over there and underneath my breath kind of say, you talked, and I felt like I got to know a lot about you, whether I heard it or not. That's, it's on me, but I suppose you're probably happier now than you would have been traveling with us. So, all right, be safe. Or, man, I've never been good at these. Okay, bye. And then I'll walk back to the speeder and jump in.
You sir get +1.
I was going to about to say +1 from the GM as well. All right, you start driving. Okay. You send Batty up. Your mechanical bat that surveys. You see through your goggles his vision superimposed, which is a bit difficult as you're driving and he's looking down from above, but he circles around in his one roughly kilometer radius doing his standard flight pattern he does for you. He's having some difficulty with vision, as you experienced the last time you were in here, because of the great heat. And it's even hotter than it was last time. Seems this land is entering summer. His heat vision is absolutely useless. He comes back down. When he hits your shoulder, and he comes and rests into the little groove here, you can actually feel he's hot from the heat.
Okay, move over, buddy. There we go. Okay.
You keep driving for some time. That heat beats down.
I pump it up to full speed, if it's safe to go full speed. Full 80 kilometers per hour. For those of you who drive by miles per hour, that's like 40 miles per hour, maybe, if that. 45.
So on the scale of the heat index, is it just like imagine like a hot day with the heat turned up in your vehicle, and because we're going fast, is it just like a vent of heat is on our face then?
Put a cloth on your head.
Huh? Okay. like as I'm like dripping sweat, I'm gonna like try and fumble around. Actually, is there anything underneath the seats?
You find some scraps of cloth and an old tarp, more for camping tarp, but you do find some cloth. Okay, you keep driving for some time. Actually, your Gaia suit that is still fairly new to you, Danus. You think, I'm so hot, and immediately it starts to loosen and vibrate a bit, and you get some cooling action through there.
Oh. Yeah.
Told you the cloth would work.
All right, you drive for some time. That heat keeps up. The sweat, particularly you, Pryo, sweat's pouring down.
I get a water cube from my pack.
Okay, you chew on it. It dissolves in your mouth. It gives you momentary refreshment.
Man, we've got to be getting close. Those kids, tiny little legs, they never would have made it to the door if it was this far.
The heat rises in front of you in waves. It's turning the land to water. You're starting to sort of wilt. The words of the robot echo through your mind. Gaia's failing, and it's a lawless time. Do you know what you need in times like these? Heroes. So you guys are both, oddly, have that echoing through your head at the same time. When you can roll danger sense.
Whoa.
Ooh.
It's that lawless, is it?
That is a 4. That is a critical success.
Nice! Critical! Yay!
I got a 6, which is
Whoa!
critical success for me.
Hey, we're on it. We're on it. Little seer robot.
Yep.
S3PR.
+1. You're thinking about that robot. Boy, he sure seemed to have a nice soliloquy. And suddenly the Gaia horizon, the end of the biomes up ahead of you. Pryo, you can roll piloting to compensate as you see the door and the crystal on the side of the door coming up straight in front of you. The actual biome is moving with the heat, and you didn't realize how close you were to it.
Ah, an illusion. Speeder pilot. Okay. Any minus?
Nope.
30. That's a critical success.
Nice.
Fantastic. So I go, one of those like, watch out, as he's already like correcting, and I kind of like, watch out. Nice.
Gaze comes squealing up against not squealing in tires, there are none, you're hovering above the air, but dust billows as you come up against the door. You come right up, ting, hit it perfectly.
Oh, that came out of nowhere.
Jeez. Look at this. How big is it? Is it speeder ready, or is it just people?
It's 2 meters wide. It's the standard outer rims Gaia door. You can fit the speeder through, your putt-putt speeder through, just barely.
That means we must be sitting like shoulder to shoulder. It's like a tiny little...
It's very much like a Smart for 2 car.
Yeah, okay.
So really how we're sitting is, instead of like this shoulder to shoulder, we're both like on the side, like leaning away from me. I'm sure like letting my hand go out the breeze, and he's like leaning on, like we're both it's so hot, overcompensating. Just, yeah.
Okay, Pryo gets out and looks at the door.
But it is red.
Is this trapped, or
how much does Pryo remember about this Gaia facet?
You remember the red crystal, you could do something with it. You seem to remember harmonics in your head, some song or something. You're not exactly sure what that means, but your instinct is to flip up the pad and sing a song, play a song, something.
Okay, Pryo goes, it wants a song.
Have I got a song for you? No, does the speeder have a radio?
It does, but it's busted.
It's busted?
Yeah.
Is there any sort of like a MP3, compact disc, floppy disk at this point? Is there anything does it look like there's something in there that has music on it, or is it just plain radio?
It looks like there was a jack to put something in, but it's also been bashed up and a part's been pulled out. A bunch of the wires have been pulled out. You imagine harvested for something else.
Okay, Pryo draws kukri and flips the little control panel up. Sync.
Okay. Yeah, you see some Gaia tech there, the Gaia metal, the crystals that are embedded in it.
Okay, he looks at it, starts pressing them, and notices they make noise. He goes, oh, okay.
You're like, boop, boop, beep, beep,
All
beep,
right,
boop.
I try to pick the lock.
Okie dokie.
That's how this works? Oh, man. Okay. This is...
The memories start flooding back to you as if you've done this once or twice before.
Right. 100. Burp, 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 burp.
Danus, it seems he feels that bashing the crap out of the door is the way to go. And you're fairly certain that's not the technique that's going to be most successful.
No. Do you need a hand? The radio's busted. There's no...
no harmonics or music that's coming out of this thing.
Roll PR, Danus.
40, that is a success.
Nice. You also remember the Gaia doors around where you lived, that you could get in there, and you saw some of the other inhabitants play with the crystals, and that you just have to get the song right, and sometimes it's a matter of playing it a few times.
Okay, but is there usually a penalty for trying too often, like a lockout mechanism?
You didn't see that where you were from.
Oh, okay. Well,
Mind
then I
you,
would assume
most of the young teens were quite good at trying to get in and out, and were quickly sent back. During this period, you didn't actually follow them. You're always a bit worried about getting caught.
Yeah. Family wouldn't be happy. Go figure. All right, I'll hop down. I'll mosey on over as he's, banging and making his own music.
Pryo kicks it once and considers trying to annihilate it with his knife, but then regains his barely sheathed composure.
Before the knife, you might try yelling at it, spitting on it. Any of those tactics. That might help. Okay, what am I seeing?
Okay, when you come up, you see where Pryo has popped the panel open, and there's these crystals inside, and he was trying to touch them. You did hear the harmonics going off.
Okay. If I never went with kids, so I probably don't. No, I got nothing.
So it's a PR check then.
Okay, I have no natural skills that would let this happen. I do get a success.
You start
pattern recognition.
Beep beep bopping away. It's like boop boop boop, mer, boop boop boop, beep boop, boop boop boop, beep boop boop boop.
No, put your hand. No, don't do that. No.
We're both trying to math.
Okay.
No, don't get your hand out of here. No, you stop. Hey, if I tell you, press this like this.
I already tried that one.
Point
press this one again.
That you guys rolled a natural 1, which is probably the only way this is going to work. Okay, you're both pressing and they're beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, 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 boop. No, this way, boop, 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 beep, beep.
Yeah, you're stupid. No, you're
This heat is horrible. Can you just figure this out already? Sorry.
Okay, it turns green. Boop. The doors crack.
Oh. All right.
Huh.
Yeah, I go for the high five.
Okay, Pryo turns around and goes back to the car.
Oh! Go team. And I'll hop in the speeder.
You get back in the putt-putt mobile.
Ka-chunk.
The
Sits
door.
down right beside Pryo, like hits his shoulder. Pryo goes,
Batty's actually kind of low riding on Danus with his wing out.
okay, did the portal actually open?
It seems to be opening quite slowly. It went just super slow.
Pryo's just kind of sitting there looking at it like,
Yeah.
The barrier, the scintillation you've witnessed now, for those that have just recently woken up 3 times, it seems much more opaque, almost more like a jelly. But it does open completely.
A jelly, like a plasma?
Is that supposed to look like that?
I have no idea. Did we put the thing in wrong? I'd believe that more than. It's green. Green means go.
Ma'am, okay. Pryo puts it in drive.
Yeah.
Starts driving through.
Okay, you start driving through.
Logic.
It hits
Solid.
the
Very
jelly.
slowly.
It hits the jelly, and you can actually feel almost a resistance, but it goes through. You both have to pull yourselves and come close together to get through the door, so your elbows don't get.
Okay, I stop. I back up. I pull out.
Okay.
Is there jelly on the hood of the speeder?
No.
What
Is
is
the
on the hood of the
speeder
speeder?
Yeah, is it damaged? Is it?
No. Just some dust. The same orange dust you've seen around. Pryo, roll detective.
Critical success.
Because you've been in and out of the hood of this speeder and just got in and out of it, you do notice that where you went up to the jelly and stopped the entryway, there seems to be a little less dust. But otherwise, the speeder's unharmed and unchanged. Maybe it cleans it.
I got an idea. Rather
Looks
than
safe.
us...
He sits down, boom, drives through.
Okay.
Okay, you push through, and you come to an odd dome sort of space. Just the speeder comes in. You actually have to stop quite quickly, stop short, quite quickly, and come up. And there's a bit, it's Gaia metal put together with crystal panels. You can see through it clearly. You can see a panel on the side with some sort of writing. It's rotating.
Okay, so will the speeder fit through it?
Yep, you're in. It's sort of, imagine an antechamber.
So almost like a greenhouse of sorts?
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
Without
okay.
plants and stuff.
Okay.
And there is a big Gaia panel. It's rotating through. And it's clearly a doorway again, a second door. The Gaia, the actual Gaia doorway has closed behind you. You can push through. You see that there's a set of doors. There's some crystal there. It's green. And then on the other side is this panel that has text that's just going through as if it was a old computer screen.
This is new. Thoughts?
When you say push through, you mean we could literally ram through doors, or what do you mean?
No, there's a crystal, so you could open these doors. Very similar to the Gaia door, only not nearly as heavy. And again, it would be see-through if it wasn't so dirty. You would have to get out and push the crystal, you imagine.
Okay, I turn the speeder off.
Okay.
I get out, and I investigate. I look around.
Okay, it's going through various things, random announcements, and then it comes up with a warning. And it says, gravity failing. Tether yourself. That's all it says.
Uh-oh.
And then it says, welcome to the Priory. Go forward to Beliza.
Okay, so this is the right way to the Priory, at least.
May Gaia be with you.
Okay, I try and wipe off some of the window and look. How close is Beliza?
Don't eat the purple berries. You look through.
Don't eat the purple. Okay, don't eat the purple berries. All right. Okay, scrape and look through.
Yeah, you look through. It's dirty on the other side as well, but you kind of can see. You see ahead of you, quite a bit of a ways off. There are these cables, metal cables that go along the side of the road, and the closest thing you see is a large sphere with lights coming out of it, and that's where the road clearly leads. So with Batty's vision, he can see quite a bit further. And from that large sphere, you see what look like ropes going up, and more of these spheres up in the air, quite a bit a ways, going further up.
Pryo grumbles something under his breath. Then he goes to the trunk and pulls out his shield, and then pulls out his bag.
Okay.
He grabs a sniper rifle. He says, "Hey, did you look at this?" He tosses it to Danus.
Is that the one? Hey, look at this. I flip it over. Oh, look at that spring action. Look at that. How's that scope? Is that how he's doing it? What are these words?
Okay.
And I'm just
Pryo puts his fingers on the barrel, goes away from himself.
Oh yeah, I guess that's I'm like spinning it around.
There's it's about 6 meters across and about 6 meters wide, this space, but there is not a lot of space in here. There's some,
okay.
You see a lot of, behind you against the Gaia horizon where it should be, you see some discarded things, much like you seem to be doing, odd packs, nothing of value particularly, but obviously people have abandoned stuff when they've gotten in here. And you roll detective, Pryo.
24 critical success.
You're looking at the edge, and you can clearly tell that this structure has been built against the wall. It doesn't seem to be formed out of the wall as you feel like would be natural for Gaia. Yeah,
this is obviously some kind of way station. So you can tether yourself so you don't fly away in the gravity. Okay. Pryo goes, "We're gonna have to go on foot from here."
Oh, Okay. And if those kids could do it, right?
Pryo doesn't say this, but he thinks, who says they lived? He imagines them floating off to their deaths.
You think that? You look up? Well, they don't seem to be stuck on the immediate part of the horizon anyways.
Okay, anything else Pryo notices with his detective skills?
Did Pryo say out loud that warning, gravity failing, tether yourself? Or because you said it, but I was going to ask.
You can read that too. It's on this panel. The panel's about 3 iPads big. But it's an old green readout, like an old computer.
Sure.
And it's just rotating through these warnings.
So the warnings themselves could be old as well.
Some of them definitely. There seems to be quite both 10 going through don't eat the purple fruit. Watch out for zone 64. Gravity stronger.
Okay. Foot it is. I'll pop open. I'll look for the little box, though. I want to take the box with us.
Christophia's box.
Yeah, I'll take that and shove some bullets in my pockets. I don't want to bring any too heavy guns and stuff if we're going to be walking on foot, but I don't want to leave too many trading materials behind.
You are gathering up as much as you can.
Can I take the tarp from the vehicle and makeshift the tarp into a backpack and then carry the guns? I'm going to say this out loud, and I'm going to look at Pryo to see what his face says, because I don't know if he wants to sit around and wait for me to do that. My guess is no.
What does his face say? Let me see here. All right. This is more or less the look you get back as he's taking some of his gear off. This is basically what you see.
just bland.
Pretty much that stone-like as well.
Yeah, you're right. Good point. And I'll start walking.
Pryo tosses him the key.
Yes. I toss the key in the speeder.
Okay.
Pryo shakes his head. Okay, Pryo goes to the door.
Okay.
Did I notice their UV, of the people we were escorting, did I notice their UV on the door and whatnot going through?
Tell me again which both your vision dips into. I know it's UV Pryo. How much? 10?
Pryo's vision is 180. It dips into the UV 10%.
And Danus?
25.
Okay.
It's one, but my vision's less than that. But it does dip in more. Is that possible?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the color range you're seeing tends to be more fluorescent and striking.
Yeah, Danus actually sees more into the UV than Pryo does.
No wonder I'm so happy all the time. Everything's all like neon and stuff. Like, woo!
Yeah, exactly. You're walking in a Lisa Frank video. Mm-hmm. You might see it. There's quite a smattering of UV on the crystal. None of it's particularly...
Do I see their footprints in the dust?
Nice. +1. Yes, you do.
Okay.
They had odd simian feet, if you remember that they didn't wear shoes. And you see them in amongst the displaced dust. They seem to have been the second to last beings to go through here.
Second to last? Who was the last?
Someone wearing a set of people wearing some boots.
Please explain. Please describe them in minute detective detail. Pryo stops. He looks down. He goes, "Wait.
Where were the ridges in the boot? It'll help us determine what kind of boot it was made for."
Let's see if you've walked on them too much that you can't recognize them. Nope, you can still make something out. Pryo, with your excellent detective skills, Danus was about to walk on them. You're like, wait.
I see them, but I just...
Yeah, you just ignore them. Whatever, boot prints.
Yeah.
You look at them. They're padded. So there's not ridges or anything to them. Smaller feet compared to your own.
Female or androgynous?
Impossible to tell. None of them are wearing something that would indicate that, so you can't tell. They are smaller.
A set of 2. Is one of these prints Christophia's?
No.
And it was a walking fashion, not a running fashion, correct?
Yep. It actually seems as if they mulled and milled about at the entranceway as well.
Can I get a UV color signature off of the 2 individuals who went through that I was tracking.
In case that same signature pops up again, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yes.
You do see the two recognizable simian mated pair, their UV, but you don't find anything. It looks as if they must have been wearing gloves or didn't deposit maybe their skin for whatever reason.
As he's mulling about and looking through the fingerprints back to the hand, where they mess with dirt, back to the footprints, looking at the different. I'm probably just going to be standing around thinking, man, maybe I should bring that tarp. No. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, if somebody else is going to, well, maybe we could. That's the whole. I'm used to the whole. Let's go, and then we stop and we hang out for a little bit.
Prio's nature. Shut up. Tell me something. We're leaving. Wait.
Yeah, I love it.
Make up your mind, Pryo. Okay, now Pryo goes, ready?
Ready? Cool.
Okay, Pryo pulls on his gloves, puts his goggles down, puts the cloak up, and goes, opens the doors.
I brace myself in case we're in a vacuum. just in case.
Yep. Nothing strange in Gaia.
Oh.
Okay, the doors open slowly, creak. You actually see they're more on a wheeled system on the exterior rather than a lovely opening Gaia door, and it creaks. And you step out. You can see where there's been this tethering rope, and there are some clips with a rope on the end. The tethering ropes are made of metal, but there are ropes with carabiners at the end.
Pryo takes one. He gives it to Dennis.
Thank you.
Takes one himself, clips in.
Okay, you step out. You immediately feel lighter. Feels like you're not quite floating, but you feel lighter. The gravity is definitely weaker in this section.
Man, I could have brought the guns. And then I'll start doing my thing.
Okay,
Plus
Pryo,
1 for single-mindedness about those guns.
Okay, Pryo starts to do kind of moonwalk forward.
You start walking. It feels quite good, the ability to move quickly and bounce. You test your
somehow
muscles.
Familiar to Pryo.
Then suddenly you take a step and it feels immediately heavy. Roll to save there.
59.
Okay. You hit. Dennis, you're a bit behind him, and you see this. He kind of hits, and suddenly you feel like the bottom of your stomach drops. Feels all the internal organs come down as you've hit a stronger patch. You're now slower.
Oh, okay. Can I get one last jump before, for fun, before I hit the low spot?
Sure.
Okay.
You bounce. Pew! You start coming down.
Pryo just goes.
You realize he's going to come down a lot harder when he hits that strong gravity.
Pryo kind of smiles. Pryo kind of smiles under his mask.
Dennis, this is what you've been waiting for. Something unique, something different.
Yeah.
You're on top of the world. And suddenly the strength of gravity hits you, and it's stronger than it was where you previously were. You come down quite hard. Roll coordination. It's a critical success. Nice. Okay, you come down, you're like, damn, but you roll and come back up and just kind of keep walking. You managed that well.
Okay, Pryo's kind of shakes his head and kind of keeps going.
Okay, you slow down, but then you hit another pocket of lighter, and this one's quite a bit lighter. You come off the ground even with a regular step.
Ooh. Guy has balls.
Nice swear. Plus 1 for that swear.
What in the hell's with his gravity? He's floating. Whoa.
If I see that, can I kind of wait till that spot in the gravity there, that it gets a little bit lighter, kind of testing around with my foot, and then right before I go into it, kind of shift my body weight and push off forward like a bullet, so I can, instead of walking it, I'll just float it?
You absolutely can. Pryo's in front of you on the tether rope.
I would probably let him go a little ways.
Okay.
not too far. I'm not playing it safe. I'm just
two young men adventuring in
I would
low
grab
gravity world.
That's right. I would grab the rope before I spike him in the back with my face.
Okay. But, go ahead. Roll coordination so you don't smack into him.
Okay. Yeah, I don't get out of the house much. This is huge for me. Oh no, I got a success, but let me tell you if it's. You said coordination?
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's a critical success actually.
Nice. You pull back and use that weight and push yourself forward and just actually lean out and fly. Pryo, he's coming behind you, surfing like in a bit of a Superman pose. And then you roll, you pull the rope in and bring yourself down just in front. Smile.
Pryo stops and looks at him and says, through the mask, if you fly off into space, I'm not going to go save you.
I think to myself, how could I, in my mind, I'm trying to go over the ways that I would convince him to change his mind, but I don't actually say anything because I never come to a conclusion. No good ideas.
Okay, you keep walking. You hit this gravity again. It's off and on. You hit another strong patch and a light patch, but as you go forward, it's
imagine we occasionally have to undo our tether and retether.
It actually phases through. There's a little clip that allows you to go through.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. It's an interesting technology. And as the carabiner comes up, you see woof, it phases, you go through, it re-solidifies.
Wow, okay.
And before you now, you've come up to the large sphere. As you've been coming closer, you've been noticing these huge trees that are at least 60 to 90 feet tall. They're white wrapped. They have bright purple balls on them. And it seems that the sphere in front of you is made of this tree, at least the bark that's around it. And it's a large, this one seems to be tethered down by the same metal cables holding it down. There's a Pryor symbol over on the white bark in gold. And ahead, you can actually see some of the trees, the large ones that have fallen are floating. There's dirt, and up ahead, there's all these different cables going up to smaller spheres. Some dirt, large rocks are floating. And in the dome, the sky is a strange, swirly sort of purple. There's little pixels. Every so often you see it flicker. It almost looks like what us would be a star, but it's actually a larger hexagon that goes out and comes back.
Okay. Shall I show the Pryor symbol?
Yes, please do.
Oh, yeah.
So people know what it looks like?
I'll probably say to Pryo, I'll say something along the lines of, you thinking what I'm thinking? And give him a face like, mm-hmm.
Okay, Prio's like, Pryo doesn't think he's thinking what you're thinking.
Probably not.
Pryo thinks he probably never is thinking what you're thinking.
We've got to get one of those fruit.
Nope.
No? Is that your response? That's awesome. I like this kid.
Pryo thinks to himself, didn't read the warnings.
Nice job. +1.
So don't eat it, but you can take it. Is there anything close, or is it a suicide mission to jump with no gravity to try and grab a piece of fruit?
There's no trees close by to here. They've been harvested. You can actually see where there's pieces have been ripped up and are floating. You see Gaia metal underneath of the dirt chunks. Mm-hmm. It's not actively moving, but you can tell that it's slowly the weak gravity is causing everything to kind of come up. And you see that the tether rope goes around, is staked and can go around the priory sphere, or you can go straight in.
Okay, so no purple fruit
not close, no.
Low hanging.
You'd have to unhook from your tethers.
Nope, not today.
Not a good idea. Yeah. Okay, so is this the priory here? Do I think this is the whole thing, or?
It seems to be. It's the largest of all these spheres you can see floating around.
Understood. So that hexagon thing you talked about.
There's actually in the dome little pixels missing in what seems to be the firmament of the sky.
Oh, okay.
It seems to be blinking out. You see a bit of a white and a red flash, and then suddenly it turns back to sky.
I see. So it's a special Gaia thing.
In between those ropes, you see a metal crate almost, or basket. And right now you see two people going up to one of those spheres from behind some spot behind the priory.
Okay, so I believe we've made it to the priory, and there's a door to go in.
Oh yeah, there's clearly a door. There's, as I said, there's light, there's warmth, a nice warmth coming from it.
Is there regular gravity here?
Not right now, no. You're still outside, so.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay, then Pryo.
You can see where the tethers have been unhooked and left.
Okay, Pryo then does the same and tries to go forward cautiously, not sure what the gravity is going to be like.
You see rings in the wall that you can grab, unhook, and kind of pull yourself through. Again, it's not so bad that you can't move. It's just if you jump, you're going to launch yourself.
Okay, Pryo unhooks and grabs a hook and tries to pull himself forward.
Okay, you pull in. Danus, do you follow as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You give up on the plan for fruit?
Yeah, just kind of looking, but all right, not today. Later.
It is
Rain
the strangest land you've encountered thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you come in. As soon as you hit in, regular gravity hits. You almost feel like a whoop as you come down. You see Gaia crystals along the walls all throughout here, and you see them glowing as you move in. So you suspect that's probably how the gravity's maintained inside. You step in, and it's quite normal gravity. There's wood floors. They're shining beautiful. It's gold and white all throughout here. That's the feeling. There's a warmth to it. You're in a front little antechamber where you see people have left stuff, and there's a hexagonal doorway to go through. And ahead you see seats, and you hear some, not a lot, but some voices.
Okay, Pryo takes down his hood and puts his goggles up in his hair like this.
I will do the same with my bandana, mimicking Pryo.
Okay, you watch him.
Yeah.
Fish your hair.
Yeah.
Then Pryo walks in and kind of looks around.
You see this area is mostly quite comfortable seats, white, padded, gold all over the place. And before you, at the very front, is a sort of, not quite an altar per se, but a stage where you imagine a prior would give a speech of some sort. And you see off to the side corner is the recognizable attire that Christophia was wearing. It's not her. There's a tall woman. She's quite tall, about 7 feet tall.
Oh.
She's got the white cassock and the gold emblems. She turns to you. She has translucent white skin. You actually see almost like a bluey purple coming out from underneath it, and she's got solid blue eyes. And she looks over at you, and she starts walking forward. Her hands extend. She only has 2 long fingers and then shorter thumbs.
Okay, Pryo puts his hands in front of him, kind of like this on his belt.
I will reach for the box. Reach for the box and kind of like hold it up.
She walks. She's smiling. She's quite a thin mouth, and the blue hue from underneath makes almost like a blushing to her cheeks. She walks up. She smiles. She goes, "Welcome," and her eyes fall on the box.